So I told everyone I would talk about certifications, mostly importantly, the ECBA certification from IIBA. If you're not familiar with it, it's okay. We're going to show you that and more. So are we excited? See, of course, Jamie, totally excited. All right. But yes, so these collaboration chats, just for those of you joining me for the first time, what these are for are just a chance for you to ask questions, follow up. Doesn't matter what session you saw me in or what we were talking about last. If you want to add a question onto the chat, I try to answer them live. And it's great because we have some pretty interesting questions sometimes come in on the comments here. So one of the biggest things, though, again, is I'm going to talk about certifications today, primarily on the IIBA, the International Institute of Business Analysis. I'll get it going and sharing here in just a second so that you can see that, because I know a lot of people had questions about the certifications because, yes, the ECBA is changing. And I'll explain what all that means. I'm getting the chat open so I can make comments, thoughts, suggestion. So I'm going to put in here. All right, so this is the IIBA. So, all right, we got the link in for IIBA. If you're joining me live, haven't been to the International Institute of Business Analysis, time to check that out. Let me share my screen here. There we go. All right. So IIBA, and check this. Okay, look at the homepage right now. Before the end of the month, there's $50 off of the ECBA. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, because the ECBA is changing. If you want help and more to get this certification, I want to give it to you. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. IIBA, if you come over to the website under certifications, get over to IIBA certifications, set some good cookies. And on here, this is where you can find out all about the certifications. So check this out. So $50 on the CBAP, the CCBA, they're advertising those. The one I'm going to talk to you today is over here, ECBA, Entry Certificate in Business Analysis. That's the one we want to talk about, okay? This is the one we're going to start because it's a great entry level and want to talk about that today. So as we keep going with collaboration chats, the way this works, if you're new here, is again, there's a comment section. That's where you can ask your questions live. I'm going to be watching that. I'm going to be adding more to it as we go, and all those links that you can reference and use. But this is the chance to ask those questions. If you're watching the recording, because the best part is this is recorded, then you can always still add more comments. I will come back to them so that it's great that we can continue the conversation. We don't all have to be live. Those that are live, this is where my goal is to help you. So I'm adding in the chat here on the comments if you want to check it out if you're live. The ECBA certification information is there. Added the link and you can see it in the comments. So again, and we'll put a note, before May 31st, you get extra $50 off the CBAP and CCBA. Woohoo! Hey, money is money. That $50 may not sound like a lot, but it does add up, right? We're business analysts here. Okay, so yep, so the goal is just to have some fun. You can always connect with me on the QR codes here. We have, connect with me, and I'm going to be live once a month. So follow me and you can get announcements when I'm going live. We can do a lot more. So, all right, let's talk ECBA. Questions, comments, thoughts, suggestions? All right, checking the comments. Here we go. All right, so let's talk about the ECBA because I know there's a change coming up and I've been trying to do my research and actually try to prep more stuff to help you, those that want business analysis certifications. I feel very passionate that these are a great way to differentiate yourself. They're almost more powerful than degrees from universities because those are very broad a lot of time degrees, focus or concentrations that aren't as specific to what a certification can do. And with business analysis certifications, IIBA, again in the comments, that's one of the leading organizations about business analysis. And if you're not familiar, it's because it's made up of practicing business analysis professionals. It's both a practice and a profession. So people doing analysis work. So that's what makes it really cool. And so if you're newer to these certifications and whatnot, know that this is a great way to differentiate yourself from the other people that you're working with or other people applying for that job or seeking promotion. What makes you different? How do people know you're good? Like, what makes you better than someone else? Certification, because it's from an international institute, a body of knowledge out there that has been, again, vetted at the highest certification level, that standardized tests, standardized content. You have been graded against a standardized form of measurement. And that's how people know that, like, how do you know you're good? You've passed an exam that says you understand the content. You know, if you have the professional level, you've proven you have both the experience and can apply the concepts. And so that's what helps differentiate you for those promotions. Those of you who are consultants or considering consultant work, certifications are great ways. They can charge more for your valuable skills, and therefore you get paid more. All right. So to give you something to think about, let me get this over here. Give us some information to chat on. And don't worry, I'll give you handouts and more. All you got to do is ask. Like, good stuff. So, all right, let's get this up here. I want to share a little bit about some of the certifications. Now, again, I'm going to show you what is valid today and July 21st. Mark your calendars. That's when the entry certificate will be changing. So that's why I want to help you get certified before July 21st. Extra benefit for those with the CBAPs and CCBAs coming in hot. These are the exam information. So to compare, I've been saying ECBA, entry certificate. We have the competency, business analysis, and the professional, the CBAP. And so what you can see here is the different, that first part is just the years it was created. So that the ECBA was the newer one of the business analysis core certifications. These are the core ones, okay? And what's I like about how the ECBA is today is there's no experience required. Absolutely none. That means whether you've been a project manager and been doing business analysis for years, never called it that, or you're coming right out of university, you're looking for that first job. The ECBA requires no experience because it's expecting you to learn what these are to build them up. So that's what's so powerful here. The other ones you can see they need experience. You know, CCBA is doing the business analysis work and focused on going beyond it with the professional. So again, just kind of some clarity there. Now, here's again, you can start to see what does 2 to 3 years, 5 years experience mean? You know, maybe I should go for those. Well, you have to document certain number of hours of work experience. Doesn't mean you have to have had a title of business analyst. You've simply had to do business analysis work. And so that's what's so great about that is that you've been doing project management work. You can been doing some change management, process improvement, help desk people. You analyze issues all the time and troubleshoot. Great business analysis work. Okay. So it's not that hard. Don't overthink it. And I've got certification courses coming out, you know, that will happily help you document that. But look at all the NAs down the ECBA. There's nothing there. You don't have to document work experience. You don't have to have done professional development hours. Though LinkedIn learning courses count. If you haven't checked out the LinkedIn learning courses available to you, and I'll put a link to chat as we keep going here, all those great business analysis LinkedIn learning courses from myself, Vince Mirabelli, Laura Patton, Angela Wick, and more. They are great ways to get those professional development hours. They all count. How cool is that? And let's see, where is I got to find it because it just launched. Those of you with me live here are getting special notice of there's now business analysis tip of the week. How cool is that? That you will get a tip each week into your inbox. So very excited about that. Let me get the link to that one up here and we will share that link out. All right. So I see some comments coming in and this is great. So thank you. Thank you, James, for being here. All right. So let me just put in the link to BA tips of the week. got to check those out. And again, PDUs. All right. Now, here's a good piece. Pop it in here because we have a couple certifications out here. And I'll come back to it. But there's a good questions in chat that ask about, is it redundant if you have the PBA from PMI? So PMI has a project-based business analysis certification. It's actually really good on there. And what I say on that is it's good for project-based business analysis. So the PBA, and I'm getting the link for those of you and want to see what's this PBA, Jamie. Oh man, the acronyms galore, right? Okay, so here is the link to PMI PBA. So for those watching and replying to the comment. But here's what I say about the PBA. The PBA is a great certification for my project managers, my PMPs who do the analysis work themselves. The PBA is great because it's got the project management side. All the business analysis is done in the box. What differentiates the PMI's PBA to IIBA's work is we want to go back to what the areas of focus are. And let's see, I'm going to bring this up here. I've actually got a beautiful visual courtesy of the IIBA for us to check out here. Let's see, pulling it up now. Don't you love the multitasking here? With business analysis from IIBA, what they're focused on is, and let me put it on here. They're focused on, this is their core concept model. Any changes, any needs, any solutions, any stakeholders, any value, any context. It does not need to happen inside business or inside a project. And so when we talk about this, if you look at their core concepts, analysis and planning, so we have the business analysis, planning, and monitoring, so we prep like our BAs. But we have a lot of work in requirements analysis and design. But what differentiates IIBA from PMI's work is see the strategy analysis area and solution evaluation. I'll try to pull up here a great visual as we keep going that talks about that, what happens to decide we need to do a project. And then what happens after the project is done. That's strategy analysis and that's solution evaluation. So that IIBA takes the lens of business analysis from anywhere we might be doing business analysis work. So this is pre and post project in addition to inside the project-based work. It's also operations, process improvements, daily initiatives. So those things going on outside of the project world is where IIBA is. Okay, now like all good BAs, I can overanalyze everything really well. So back to the question, do you think it's redundant certifications? Absolutely not. Having the PBA and from PMI and any of the core BA certifications. So that was, again, the ECBA, the CBAP, the CCBA. Those from IIBA are great complementary work. Because especially like the PMI, my experiences, that was very focused on traceability and managing changes of requirements or analysis work. Where again, we get to ask why and so what on the IIBA side. Why are we doing this in the first place? Why is this needed? Why not something else? And then when it does finish, so what are we doing with it? So what are we doing next? So what has happened? So what are people saying about it? Those feedback loops, more of that. That's where, again, I feel the IIBA is much more broad sense of analysis work, and PMI is very project-based focus, which, again, reflects both groups on there. So the short answer, long answer to the short question is that no, they're not redundant. They're complementary on there. So thanks, James, for chiming in on that. They're very helpful to each other. And so that's what, again, help you consider. There's a lot of business analysis certifications out there, but again, you want to get from the standards. That's why, like, the best to me, if you want to know the best about business analysis work, you go to IIBA, because that is the professional organization for business analysis work. Now there's lots of people besides myself that are talking about it, doing training, consulting, advising. There's so many services out there, that becomes, business analysis work because it can apply to so many things. But this is the part where, again, you have to like be a good business analyst and think about what the value is to you. Remember, it's all about value. It's all about the value you get. And so what I want to show you here is something about the exams, a little bit more detail now on IIBA side. Because again, July 21st, and I'll find some more articles, July 21st, the IIBA ECBA is changing. And so I'm finding the exam update information so you can compare and read to this. I'll be having stuff come out to help you, that those of you who are worried, oh my goodness, I'm not going to make it by July 21st. Don't worry, I got you covered. I'll give you more stuff. You know me, I can't stop giving, right? There's too much. So, all right, so I'm gonna put the update on the ECBA information. All right, let's see. And all right, I like it. There's a great comment in here because people ask this. LaDonna, I appreciate you asking on here that here's a good point. I've been doing business analysis work, and if you're highly successful, is it worth it to obtain the certifications? And like all good BAs, let's do the appropriate response. Everyone knows what the right answer is to all good questions. It depends, right? So that's what we always want to worry about. So it depends. Do you need a certification? Do you need one? No. Can it help? Absolutely. I'm trying to get, let's see, ECBA update. There we go. All right. Okay, there. Getting my comments here going, playing with this. Okay. All right, so is a certification worth it? It depends what you're doing with it. What are you trying to achieve that's not happening now? See, good old gap analysis. What opportunity presents itself to you right now, LaDonna, that a certification would help you achieve? Or is there something not happening now? Are you not getting the promotion? Are you not getting considered for those other opportunities that a certification would help? So do you have to have a certification? No, by no means. You don't have to have anything. The part where is these certifications, I like them for two parts. So one, it either gets you in the door, like my people that are coming out and don't have experience and you like project-based analysis work, you want to get on teams and troubleshoot, you want to go in technical teams, get the ECBA because it requires no experience and it proves that you've got some advantage knowledge and you can go in and get it. Now, those of us who've been doing work, if you're getting the jobs and promotions without a certification, maybe you don't need it. Now, the part I do like about doing certifications is that it makes you dive into content. It makes you see what people are saying about a topic. So like with the IIBA, what have people said about business analysis? How would you define it? What are some tools, techniques, and tips on doing requirements work? That if you spend a lot of time in requirements work, definitely read it. Now, like I've read a lot of the requirements board or the requirements information from the IREB, the International Requirements Engineering Board, that I read that. Am I certified in that one? Not yet, because it wasn't to the detail I needed, but I definitely read up to it. It's like, maybe I should get that one. Oh boy, there goes another thing on the to-do list for Jamie. But, the part on there is where is it valuable? So like LaDonna's comment, if she's working on Microsoft and analytics, maybe you go take a class on Microsoft, some of their analytics works. Maybe, do you need a Microsoft certification? Maybe that's a little overkill. But the idea with certification, it forces you to learn and train on certain materials. That's what I like about that. What is foundationally some guidance that we should be thinking about in our work, even though the real world doesn't follow that? So that would be something just to kind of consider there. So that would be kind of my question for what you're looking at. And does it help you? Maybe not now, but it also, again, if in the future you want a management or a leadership position, then what you want to do is you want to have something that differentiates you from those other people that would possibly be considered for leadership positions, right? That would be a piece to where, like, again, need something to differentiate myself. The certification would give it to me. How do I show that I can do more? Okay. So I'm hoping that helps with the question. A great question, but just because you can get it doesn't mean you should, is always good advice. So, sorry. Thank you, LaDonna, for clarifying the, I thought Microsoft and analytics, see, clarity, see, good business analysts ask good questions. So masters of science, masters is great work because again, it's differentiating you from people without it, the degree. And again, it depends what you want to achieve. This is where it's like, be a good business analyst, analyze the work you're doing. Okay. Analyze what's needed. And again, what is not happening today you want to happen, or what opportunities do you see? That's where we kind of start pulling this in. So, and stuff. So, and it's absolutely, James, to chime in, certifications are a great learning path. People have asked me now, like the ECBA, I'll jump over back to that one for example here. So with the ECBA, what it is today, and so it is changing, you've got the changing pieces on there. It's competency-based. It's 50 multiple choice questions in 60 minutes. Here's how you know you're a great business analyst. You're doing the math on going, all right, I have just over 1 minute per question. That means they can't be hard questions. They're looking for a quick kind of vocab response, all right? They want to see you give a quick highlight, what is a technique where you watch what other people do and see how it operates. Observation is going to be one of those. It's not going to be trick questions. The CCBA and the CBAP, they would give more scenario and case-based questions where you're going to need time to read through it. That's why those ones, look at that, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. They're up there for a reason, so you have time to apply your analysis skills. Whereas the ECBA one, it's an hour, okay? It's 50 multiple choice questions. And you can see here, they don't even test you on strategy or solution evaluation. It is very much just requirements. Who is a business analyst? What is business analysis work? And some of the most common techniques. So like process modeling, drawing a Visio diagram, that's process modeling. Might not have called it that, but you've been doing that for years. You're like, oh, okay, there's a technique to it. Interviews, asking questions. You'll probably get a question about interviews. Focus groups is a good one on there. Document analysis, reading other people's materials. See, but again, this is where you've probably been doing a lot more business analysis work than you realize. You just never called it that. You never went down to that detail. And that's why that question about, is it valuable? Like you say, should I get one? You're forced to learn these terms so you understand it. You have those industry agnostic terminology that you can use and look up to do analysis work anywhere. That's what I love about this. This is not industry specific, just like PMI's ones, not industry specifics. You can use them wherever your career takes you. So again, if you're newer in your career, this is where that value add comes into play. You've got great information and background you can put right in now and use throughout your career. So that's a big investment to where, yep, do a certification. I will tell you, the ECBA, remember, 50 multiple choice questions in 60 minutes. Okay, it's not going to be overly hard. And I say that, and yes, some people are like, well, Jamie, you've taken so many tests before. Yes, I have, but remember, it's about how we go about the process for both studying and more. So let's see, I'm going to just pull this up so I can highlight, because those of you joining live or listening to recording, this is where I always give my bonuses. So if you don't watch it, watch the whole recording, you can put on 2 times the speed. It's okay. I have for you, not just the competency assessment worksheet. This is included in my ECBA success package. So those of you who want to get the ECBA, I've just put the link in there for the success package. And if you watch this, the keyword, put success. When you go to the page on here, it's going to ask you for a keyword. If we put in, I better make sure this works, right? Live always is dangerous. Let me see. Check that out. Keyword success. It's completely free to download for you. I have everything in here for you to study, prep yourself, check yourself, and take and then pass the ECBA examination. And again, I'm talking about the one today, this one with 50 questions in an hour, what to study, what to go on there. So all you have to do is put that code in, the code success, Doesn't matter if it's caps or not, but just the word success, and you will get that downloaded package. Okay. So I told you, I'm here to help you. And if you need more help, I do have my latest training class is going to be, let's see when we do it. Oh, we're doing it in June. Online 5 1-hour sessions where it's, while we're going to gear towards the ECBA, if you just want some training with Jamie to get your CBAP or CCBA, that same time we can talk about some more of the advanced questions and help you out. But so I've got the training coming up in June. If you want help getting your certification, I put the link in the chat. I just got to make sure chat is working. There it goes. All right. And so this is like you say, so I'm going to put the notes so everyone has the good stuff. Absolutely, LaDonna. Love the love in the comments here. I've got both the certification package is free. And then if you want help, join me live online. We record the sessions 5 1-hour times to get you focused, studying the right things, the right time, the right reasons, so that you can pass the right certification. So that's what those are for. And those will start in June. So start next month. So you get time. So if you have more questions, let us know. I like it. Someone came in. Level of effort for the ECBA. Okay, so let's go back here. I'm going to just kind of go over here just so we can compare it for us visual learners. For us visual learners. Okay, ECBA, CCBA, CBAP. Okay, going back here. This is where, see these two that have the applications? You have to document the hours. They take time. I'll come back to them. This ECBA, no work experience, no nothing here, okay? It's not, code of conduct is a read and select yes. 50 multiple choice questions. How long do you need to study to learn vocab words from only these sections of the Babok guide, which comes included with your membership? How much time do you need for those? If you are concentrated and focused, I'm going to tell you 2 weeks for the ECBA. Now this is focus, okay? Focus on here. And I don't want to hear, Jamie said I could pass it in 2 weeks. You know, it depends, but you got to be focused. So when I say focus, let's talk about this. Could you get up every morning for an hour early for 2 weeks and write down vocabulary cards? You know, like, okay, what are all the tasks? What are common techniques? What's the definition for each technique? Okay, and pick, like, say, one knowledge area. You're going to write six tasks down, write down some techniques are used for each, and write down the purpose of each technique. Put them on little flashcards, and you spend an hour just doing that in the morning. Well, at lunchtime, you sit down and you flip through the cards. You see how many note cards you can do without looking. So you spend 30 minutes at lunchtime. You take them with you on your bus ride or in between meetings, hopefully not during the Zoom meetings, but you use them and you reference them. You read through them. Then the evening, that time, you do some practice questions. You test yourself. You do a brain dump, what I call, where you write down everything you remember from that morning without looking. Once you write it all down, see what you remember. Then go to open the Babok guide and you sit there for the rest of the hour and you write down all the things you couldn't remember. What other tasks were there? What other techniques were there? What's the purpose of that technique on there? What stakeholders included? What's the definition of business analysis? You write those down. If you could give that kind of concentrated studying, because it's about understanding what the tasks, techniques are and their definitions, then in 2 weeks' time, that's the prep model I give people to pass the ECBA. Now, with those, that's the ECBA entry level. So that's why I said it's totally doable before July 21st. If you've taken a standardized test before, that's also a big plus. When I say standardized test, that means this is a test where they're going to want you to answer like the book. My experienced BAs, please do not answer how you do it in the real world. It's nothing against you. You're a very successful business analyst, or if you've been a project manager for years, great. But it's a standardized test, which means they want a standardized answer, not a, I did whatever it took to make it work, right? That's what we do in real life. So if you're comfortable answering the test like the book says, only answering what you know, skipping what you don't know, coming back to it, not changing answers, picking the best answer. There's always going to be like 2 good ones. If you're comfortable with that, then you don't have to practice the test as much. You spend 2 weeks with the studying materials. And Elisa, can you chime in on your comment there? Which site is that? I try to put in which site where, let's see, I was trying to give the success. There's a success package in the comments, and there's also the link to my next live training sessions to help you get certified. But Elisa, if I didn't answer your question, please put in the comments and I will happily do it. See, that's what's great about these live events, the comments. Okay, I'm gonna show you a trick here though. Those of you who are like, I've been doing business analysis work for a while. I'm not sure I should take the ECBA. I will tell you, by the way, I've had a number of business analysts who want the CBAP. They took the ECBA just before it changes or like the price went up or something at the end of the year. They took it just to take it. They took it, they studied, they got in there. It was a nice precursor just to kind of get them warmed up and going. Now, the CCBA and the CBAP, though, what I'm showing here is they require experience. Okay? So you have to document that experience. So part of your prep work is documenting your experience in the words of the Babok Guide. Not that you worked with stakeholders to understand what they were trying to achieve. Totally true. Great line of experience on your resume. But on the application, you have to prove you know what business analysis is. Well, then you need to use the words of the Babok Guide. Conducted stakeholder analysis using interviews, document analysis, focus groups, and workshops to elicit, document, and verify and validate requirements. See the difference? That's how you got to do your certification. So what I love with the CBAP and the CCBA, and most people, I tell them, if you're close to the C, like if you've been working for 7 years, you probably should be doing the CBAP because you've done analysis work, you've just never called it. Anyone ever work at McDonald's and had to take someone's order? You needed the requirements for their burger. You needed their specifications for their, what kind of coffee, shake, soda, juice. You had to strategize and offer up maybe the latest deal. You did business analysis work. You just never called it that. So again, I'm actually a big fan that the CBAP is the one to go for if you've been working for more than a few years. You probably have it. You just have to figure out how to document it. That's what my boot camps or they're not really boot camps anymore. They're my classes. I help people figure out how to document it. But what do? When we document our experience, we go study the Babok Guide. We do some studying so we understand the concepts, so then we can fill out our application. As we fill out our application, if we're not comfortable about, was this really business analysis, planning, and monitoring type work? Let's go back to the Babok Guide. Let's go read the Babok Guide and see what it says about analysis and monitoring and planning, our analysis work. Now that I've studied it more, I know the vocab more, I know the application, I go back to my experience and apply it and document it. So there's a back and forth. So if you ask about like level of effort, for the CBAP, I'm thinking more about a 6-week effort there on that one. Because what you're doing is you're actually starting that application process and studying, you're getting it in, and you do need to wait for it to be approved to schedule your exam. And so 4 weeks to work on the application and study, 4 weeks of that. And then last 2 weeks is just concentrated studying, practice exams and more. And so that'll be my part for studying. And you practice again, the brain dumps and more. That's what's really important when you can practice those brain dumps. And what I mean by brain dump means write down everything in your head so that you know what you know and you know what you have to go study. And when you can do that, because it helps you take the test, actually, you can create your own cheat sheet live for the test if you know how to create it. Those of us on here is the, let's see, I'm going to put in here the CBAP exam prep course. I have one right here on LinkedIn Learning that you can go watch it and you'll know everything you need to pass the CBAP. Okay, so CCBA or CBAP that you're worrying about, that's where you can get there. And so the site there, thank you for the code success, Elisa. was on the first link. It looks like it's, oh, I guess it's that package, ECBA success page. That's the one, the ECBA success package. That's how you'll get that download for you and get everything you need to pass the exam. So I'm gonna try to get it in here and see if that'll go. All right. See, look at this. I've got links galore going on here. Have I given, let's see, what else have I not asked, answered, asked, investigated, research? This is great. I want to help you. So it's not that hard for the ECBA. It really isn't. I've given you your success package. You read through that. You do a couple of weeks of reading the BABOK guide, practicing the vocab, follow the study plan in there, then follow whatever you do. Okay, here's one more tip. I've done a few certifications, exams. I've helped others do certification exams. I would say, like, I really wish I could say I have 100% pass rate from every single person in my class. I have one person, and he told me this, and he was honest. He goes, Jamie, I did what you told me not to do. I answered the questions how I wanted to answer the questions. And he's a very smart, sharp, successful, excellent, now certified CBAP. His first time, though, he forgot what the study plan said. Answer each question like the BABOK guide. You know, that's an important piece. Answer how the BABOK guide would answer them. That's what's most important. And so with that, the BABOK guide, you want to do whatever the BABOK guide says to do, not what you do from your work experience, okay? And so that's what happened is he answered the questions like he would have done it in general. And there's good questions and there's better questions on there. Let's see. I'm pulling up real quick. I know there's a question about pricing. I was pulling this up just so I can show people for this. Get you some good stuff. On the ECBA right now, the exam fee is 45, or wait, sorry, the application fee is no more, so that's changed. So I'm pulling up, this is one of my old slides here. I was trying to get you, thanks for asking great questions. So the application fee is gone, exam fee and retake fees. So that's about the price for the ECBA. And for the, I gotta get the CBAP ones here. We can pull that up as we talk. So just to clarify, let's see where it is. So what you can do to learn out all this information, I'll just keep sharing. This is like, go to the source. Under the certifications, you can always click. And so what we can do is the ECBA. And then what's great on these pages, they have so much information, okay? Like there's a lot here. I thought I seen 350 was the ECBA without membership. But this is where you can find and test your knowledge, example questions, get the handbook for each one of these. And you can, again, all this valuable information, I also put it in your success packages. So let's see, let's ask good old Google real quick. How much does the or Gemini in this case, right? The IIBA, ECBA cost. Put that in here. And looks like we've got the ECBA exam fee is $195. And look at this. Okay. This is what I love here real quick. Exam fee $195. $350 if you're not a member. So you got to do the math on the membership. Okay. Membership, it depends on, you know, where you're at, which location in the world, but $195 to $350. That's what, $155 difference. Membership is normally less than that. And what do you have to study? You need to study the BABOK guide. Guess what? The BABOK guide is included in your membership. So the year you're going for any certifications, ECBA, CBAP, or CCBA, need to get the membership. Get the membership. And I'll show you the difference here. CBAP, again, let's see. There's your application fee. And look at this, $350 and $145. So that means $495, $500 to get it. But see this difference, another $155. Wait, am I doing math? Yeah, $155 difference. Membership is cheaper than that. You want access to all the materials you need for your exam? It's included with membership. So this is where, like I say, you're validating your work experience. So you're going to pay $145 for that application. Let's get it right the first time. You got to pay $350 for the test. Let's get it right the first time. The ECBA, let's not do this more than once, right? You got to pay $195 if you're not a member, $350 if you're, or $195 if you are a member, $350 if you're not. Let's get it right the first time. So that's what I was saying. Answer the questions according to the Babot guide. That and all my test taking tips are what's in that ECBA success package on there for you. Not only how to study, but how to take the exam. Oh, these are great questions. Oh my goodness. Okay. If you're watching the recording, put more questions in the chat. I want to get you certified. I want to help you out. Tell me, what else do you need to help pass these things? All you have to do is ask. Okay. That's why you follow me. I'll be putting more out there. So I want to give you more. Just let me know what I can do to help you get certified, because what happens again is this is an international standard. So you're able to compare yourself to somebody else who doesn't have it. So if two people are applying for the same entry-level job, how does the HR recruiter know you're better than someone else applying? Well, if you walk in with an ECBA certification, they have international standard of business analysis success that they can instantly compare you to. And I know we don't like to be compared. We're all awesome people, but it makes you stand out, gives you something other people don't have necessarily. And when you show you have a certification, that shows you had to understand the content. You know what's being put out there into the entire world, International Institute of Business Analysis. These are BAs from across the globe that agree on these are great standards and ways to look at analysis work. They've collaborated to bring that thoughts together, and you apply it. Now, it doesn't mean the way you apply it has to be the same, but you get the concepts. Because trust me, when you read the Babel guide the first time, first read it when you can't fall asleep. It'll put you right out. And second, it's a guide, not a cookbook. It doesn't tell you how to do all the intricate things of business analysis, but it gives you structure and foundational competencies and thoughts to focus on that help you be a better business analyst wherever your analysis work takes you. All right. Well, if you can believe it, we are at the end of our time here. I try not to do too much going on. Want to let you know, I am going to be back on live. You want more questions, comments? Let's see. I've got the date here. Let's see. June 24th. Here you are. Yep. So if you want to go ahead and get to this, that's the QR code right to the event. So you can add it to your calendar so you don't miss it. Going to be doing it a little bit earlier next time. And then to highlight, let's see, I had all this good stuff for you ready to go. That June, though, is when we're going to be in BBC Building Business Capability Conference. All right. I'm super excited. So I've got a couple things for you. Let's see. Here's what's really cool. All right. Let me share my screen. Again, next month, I will be live in Arizona at BBC with Philip Hendricks. We're going to be doing facilitating your own facilitation success. Yes, we're going to make things easy. And so I have the link here. I'll make sure and put them in the chats, as well as the collaboration chat in August. So we're going to skip a couple, but in August is when Philip's going to join me on this live, and we're going to unpack our event. So if you can't come live in June with me and jump into the workshop, we're going to have it live, our unpacking event here on LinkedIn Live. So that's going to be the August one. Okay. So that's why I'm really excited about that one. And let's see. Oh, and one more for you though. If you are going to BBC, maybe you're not going to the facilitating session, I do have on here the going to do the AI strategy, tools, and ethics. That we're going to be diving into AI tools for business analysts. I have the QR code here. If you're going to be live, check it out. That though, yep, I could probably unpack that one. Maybe in June we talk some more about that. We'll see what people are saying. Again, I want to make these sessions wildly successful for you. So anything I can do, the questions, put them in the comments. Go ahead and go to that event. Start adding comments right away. What you want me to talk about, what you want me to bring, what more I can help you with, because that's what these are for. Every month. All right. Well, put the questions in the comment section on here. I'll keep checking. I'll add some more. Anything else I can do for you to add more value? I'm just a quick collaboration chat away. You want to talk more? Let me know. And I'm so excited that those of you join me watching the recording. I'm an email, a message, a text away. Please don't hesitate to collaborate, and I will see you all next month. Aloha, everyone.